All right, so is anyone armed with a weapon? If you are, just keep it quiet. Keep it to
Let us know we'll stay near you.
Don't tell me if you
If you
have
are,
it.
let us know we'll stay near you.
I've misplaced mine, so I didn't bring it. Make sure you lock your vehicles before we go, because you never know. Somebody knows that we're here and they may be messing with your car, especially if you have a Tesla. Just kidding. Okay, watch where you step because there's glass and nails out there. If you don't want to pick something up, please don't pick it up, because I don't want anybody getting hurt. Somebody got cut last year, and somebody even found a kid found a gun. So if you have children with you, keep an eye on them. You know, don't pick up a gun if you see one, because it might have prints on it for a crime. Because that happens in Youngstown.
So whatever happened?
Yeah.
I got turned in.
Yeah.
There's actually something, a crime gun.
Nefarious going on, who knows?
Maybe.
Why would they
No.
put it there?
I don't know anything about it though. And it wasn't my gun. I wish I could find my gun, but I lost it. No hunting the deer if you did bring a gun. That's Aaron Young's job. Okay? Aaron Young's job. Please wear good gloves if you're going to pick up trash, but don't feel like you're obligated to. Okay?
We brought extra trash bags if anybody
You
wants
want
them.
one. And let us know if you want it right away, because I know she's tired of holding that roll of
I
trash
am.
bags. Pick whatever it is before you pick it up. You never know what's under it. It could be a python, a crocodile, T-Rex. There was a velociraptor was spotted here 2 months ago. Again, I already said watch your kids closely if you bring any kids. Don't let them wander off. You can place your youth. If you do pick up trash, put it in a bag, and it can go in the back of my truck. It can go in the back of my, I forgot you're recording. It can go in the back of my truck. We'll get rid of the trash in my house. We may be trespassing. Okay. If the police come, run. I'm the slowest one here. I'm the slowest one here. They'll catch me. So, and I'm okay with that. I haven't been arrested since 1992, and once in 1980, so I'm overdue. Okay. Liability here is on each of us as an individual. It's not on the church. It's not on anybody but yourself. So please be careful out there. Don't get hurt. And anyone interested in assisting me in a more serious crime later on, which is removing an item that was promised to me by the church, but now they don't like me. They don't answer my phone calls.
Isn't that the whole property?
There is one more item here that.
Fire hydrant?
How did I know that?
Yeah. We have one of the fire hydrants. The second one is still here, and I'm going to get it. Someone will help me get it.
I can help you with that.
Well, I don't know how deep does that thing go?
I have already cut through about a quarter of it, and then my batteries died. But I bought more batteries for
When
my
did you do that?
for my cutoff a couple years.
Should I be deleting this part?
Yes.
What's that?
How many saw blades from the lamp?
Oh, I know, that's right.
No, it is.
Now, the church promised it to me when we were on speaking terms, but when we tried to buy the property when they went bankrupt, things changed, and now they don't respond to me at all. So we'll get that fire hydrant. It's going to the Mahoning Valley Historical Society with everything else, because that's the one that let down the place. If those had worked, those 2 fire hydrants, we might not have lost Idora for another 5 years. Ryan, you're not recording. Don't let Ryan have this recording, okay?
Which one's Ryan?
He's in law enforcement.
Who's Ryan? That's Ryan.
When he's not
He's
racing
trying to
cars,
hide his face.
when he's not racing cars, he's in law enforcement. Hey, anybody have any questions? If you do, this guy knows more about Idora Park than anybody above ground.
Thanks. How many groups of people are here? Because I only printed out so many things. You know what I mean? Like if you're with somebody or 3, 4, 5, whatever, I only have so many.
And that's a timeline.
Yeah, it's a timeline. There's maps. There's
story.
maps from before Allmore. So I'm not sure, but yeah, I couldn't print because I'm not in radio anymore, and I can't steal the printer.
Idora.
Hang on.
Day and night, all our rides are dynamite. You'll like what we're doing. We've got
Yeah, make sure nobody falls climb up at least the wall. There's an easier one over here.
Yeah, I just went.
This is the hard way, that's the easy way.
Please be careful.
If you guys go through the fence and then come back this way, it's the shortest wall right here to climb up if you need to climb anything. But this is the only bad spot.
Yeah, my husband's way down there.
We don't want anybody falling.
Here in this area, here were the Rocco Flames, the Yo-Yo, Spiders, and if you look out here, of course, that's the Billingsgate parking lot. Yeah, the telephone lines over here, the telephone poles, that is where the Jackrabbit ran down. And before the Jackrabbit, it was the Dips, but they had death on that coaster, and the ridership dropped, and they had a company come in and redesign it to what we all remember, the Jackrabbit. But also, if you go back, this was a cow pasture. Over by Latterman's Mill, that was the Latterman farm. This side was a farm owned by a guy named Smith, and he raised Holstein cows. So, you know, I don't want to keep doing a shameless plug, but if you got me on Facebook, the idorapark.org, you'll see pictures where this parking lot was all a wheat field, and there was a roller coaster. So we're going to make our way up here. Of course, right over here, if you look this way, would be you'd be looking into the ballroom, and we'll get up there right now. As we come up here, if you look out here, you'll see 3 posts. That's the entrance to the putt-putt course, the mini golf.
If you go online and you see the photos for the mini golf, those are the same posts that are in the photo.
Hello, there we go.
Nice and clear.
Behind me would be like a grass garden, benches. Then where the cement is, and we'll get up there, trust me, maybe on our way back down, would be the Cheyenne Shootout. Right here would be the ballroom. And as we're going to go up here, I'm going to show you the baseball field. Of course, many concerts, pro teams, minor league teams, Negro League teams, all played in this field. In fact, the Patricians, which were from St. Patrick's Church, won a world championship in football on this field. So we're going to go up this way.
There's a truck coming down through the old thing.
All right. There you go. There's your stone steps.
Iconic.
Right here would be the ballroom. This foundation, which you can partially see going that way,
Where the
is
blue
the
truck is.
Jackrabbit Stadium, where the
Dumping
Jackrabbit
tires.
roller coaster.
That guy picked the wrong day to dump tires if he is. If you dump it, we're going to catch it.
Is he done?
I don't know.
Let me see this real quick. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
As we walk up here, if you see these stone things, those are the footers for the Jackrabbit, where the coaster, you know, would be built.
I actually have the brake lever to the Jackrabbit at home.
All right, up here is the Idora Park baseball field. David Cassidy, Bay City Rollers,
I was there, baby.
left end. Think about it. Sojourn. But as you also look down this tree line where the phone poles are, the Jackrabbit went all the way down and made a left to where you see, what is that, like cattails?
Yeah.
And made the turn around and came back. So that's what it looks like today. Go back up.
Brian.
Oh, Oh, wow.
Not around. Yeah. Be careful.
What's that?
It's all. This is all.
Okay, as you come up here, if you look down here towards the midway, first of all, you'd be looking at the back of the Cheyenne shootout. However, if you go back, you see these stone structures coming out of the ground. Right there, right there, right there, right there. This is the original Idora Park theater. There was a theater here. And the hill was used for the bleachers. Those are still there. If you look right here in front of you, this is where the train would cross and go all the way down this flat path over here to my right.
Picnic area. And I'd like to know why Jim hasn't taken this railing yet. If anybody knows, please let me know.
I'm gonna catch everybody walking up. I'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to catch up.
You're on Picnic Hill. Who had a company picnic? Parents, whatever? Yeah. You're on Picnic Hill. This is the hill. This is also the hill that when they, and you'll see scattered out throughout the park, there's, I think, 4 wells. And, well, they don't belong to the church that owns this property. I won't go there. They tried to drill up here, and 3 different Indian tribes did come up here and protested. They claim this is a burial ground. I can't confirm it, but I've read multiple stories.
That's interesting.
Look this way. You'd be looking at the Wildcat, the park office. Right down below us would be the back of all the, like the fish pond, the souvenir stand, all the games that came down to Midway. Back in here, and yeah, this has grown more than last year, there's a little metal structure. Who's been up to Fellows Riverside Garden? And you know the coin-operated binoculars? That's what that used to be. And you'd be able to put a quarter in there and zoom in on the Wildcat or anybody down on the Midway. It's still here.
Why doesn't Jim have it?
There's 2. The other one's still over there. I didn't see this one before. How did I miss that? I must have been hiding last time I was here. Maybe you can hide behind.
This is the other coin-operated binocular. This metal piece. But if you were to look down there, you can still kind of see the flat part. That would be the train going back to the station. The station's going to be back here behind me.
Why doesn't Jim have that one? For a small fee, I can go get it all.
Where I'm standing is where the train would have came back to go towards the station. The wall behind me would be the midway buildings. The fish pond, dark game, etc., stuff like that. You guys can keep going down this way. I'm going to come up here, but this is where the train would have traveled. Right here in this corner, you can kind of see the corner. That's your arcade. That's where the arcade would have been. As you come down the hill, Jeff in the blue hat is standing right where the French fry stand would be. And that tree? That thing's been there forever.
Yeah, it has.
Right here is where the French fry stand would be. Also, this tree behind me, I call it a witness tree. This tree has been here forever. And if you look at any pictures, there used to be a flower garden, grass around this curve, and also around this tree, along with park benches. But this tree, and I don't know, Jim's somewhere, right?
He's all the way in the back of the bus.
Okay, he's at the back of the bus.
He's way back there.
He'll tell you this when he has had dealings with Mount Calvary, that the caretaker that comes up here and cuts the grass and does whatever he does not do, was always told not to cut this tree down, and it's still here. And again, if you look at pictures online, the arcade is over here where these trees are. There's grass and a flower garden and park benches going around this curve, and you'll see this tree. You're now in the upper midway. So you're at the train station. Right up in here. Behind you, where you see the concrete sticking out of the ground in the middle, that was the rocket ride. Concession stands all the way around. Right about where you are, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. This would have been the Caterpillar.
Oh, yeah.
Right up in here. Where this phone pole is, and you see the tree line, and I know it might bring a laugh, it might bring whatever. There was a house here, and it was a women's restroom. Who used it?
Yep.
I was a kid then, but I was.
Everybody used it.
Now last year when we were up here, behind me is Kittyland. Also, before Kittyland, the swimming pool. We tried to go up in there last year, and there's just too many obstacles. We don't want anybody to get hurt. But it would be this whole semicircle. If you look at the back tree line. This would actually be, the Caterpillar right up in here. Watch your footing.
Wasn't the total room right there in that circle over there?
Yeah.
Not too many years ago.
Oh, Jim's got that. The stone water fountain?
Yeah, that's where outside. That's
Yeah, he's got that.
Right up in here, right? Yeah, because that'd be the Ferris wheel.
That'd be the Ferris wheel.
There's still more people that go in that area.
That's
Hey,
the
somebody was left behind. They're yelling through the gate.
fountain. That's the fountain. Yeah.
You're late.
All right, I don't want anybody to get hurt, but there's a pipe sticking out of here. Jim, come on.
Don't
Your
sit on
turn.
it.
You know what's there. Well, right about where you guys are all standing would be your tilt-a-whirl. Right up in here. This was the stone fountain that Jim has. And you can see where the stones were, that's where the grass is. But the pipe still comes out of the ground.
There were only two of them. One was destroyed by whatever. There were only two of those water fountains, stone water fountains. One was destroyed by the church doing some work. It was over by the Wildcat, and then this one was still standing, and the church allowed us to take it, so it's at our place right now.
If you look back here, you see two foundations. There's your the Ferris wheel. Sat on those two foundations, going this way.
Okay, did you get there yet? I was gonna say.
All right, y'all could just kind of stand there a minute. Visualize over here. You see that dead tree? There's your Heidelberg Gardens, Crazy Horse Saloon. When it burned, everybody knows the, I think the word's topographical, sloped down. But what they did, they just covered it over. So you got a metal detector, come on up here. All back here would be your Heidelberg Gardens, the Crazy Horse Saloon. Right there would be the Helter Skelter bumper cars. That's cement. Next to it would be, I don't know what area you're from, Wacky Shack, Lappin' Lena's, the Fun House. And if you look along that tree line, back in the corner or close to the Heidelberg, obviously it'd be the Cookie Castle, the Gold Nugget, Dark Ride, all in this area. And if you walk down there, please be careful, because when it burned, the nails all dropped, and they are still there. There's thousands.
41-year-old tetanus.
Tetanus was different back then.
1986.
Any nails?
Got a nail.
Here, $200.
Didn't even take 3 seconds, got a nail. So if you come up here, this is the bumper cars, Wacky Shack, Cookie Castle.
There's hundreds of nails.
Just watch the nails.
Souvenirs if you want to take them.
Yeah, some of them are sticking out, so. Yeah, that's the old style.
Are you going over by?
Oh, I'm going this way.
Oh, okay.
My dad lived on
Yeah, my dad's, my maiden name is Bess. They live right out here. Yeah.
there was a ticket booth.
He was right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think it was right here.
There.
There's a set of gates there and a set of gates
This
there.
is a perfect square.
Right here.
That's a perfect square. If you came in at the Parkview entrance, here's your ticket booth. This perfect square. Go through this. because
Everybody wants to know.
Somebody just picked my brain, and one reason I love coming up here, but I don't. All right, back in about 1894, Park and Falls Street Railway Company, a trolley company, was coming up here to the south side of Youngstown. Now, a lot of people said that, well, they couldn't do that until Market Street Bridge. Well, I found proof that Market Street Bridge was there in 1894 and 1895. It was stone and iron. But Park and Falls did not come over that bridge. They came over the Mr. Peanut Bridge, Spring Commons, made their way up Oak Street by the old Southside Hospital, and they had a garage on Glenwood and Warren Avenue. They also had a garage right across the street. That was the first 7 acres that the Park and Falls Street Railway Company bought. Then they got into a meeting with Mill Creek Park, because this was all a park. In fact, before it was named Terminal Park, after that it was named Idora Park. It was known as the Southside Pavilion Grounds. And their advertisements were in cahoots with, there was a guy named Hamilton, and I can't think of the other guy's name right now, who were selling lots here on Parkview for 120 bucks. But their line ended right there. And their advertisement was to get over here to enjoy, you know, picnics, pleasure grounds, etc., whatever they called them back in that day. In 1899, the first structures came up here. And you know, there's a lot of, is it 1899? Is it 1895? I want to say 1895, because if you research any of the parks or this land's anniversary dates, they all point to 1895. But in 1899, they had an electric carousel approximately right where the guy in yellow is. And it was made by Gustav Denzel. It was electric. That carousel eventually was sold to Cascade Park over in Newcastle. The one we all remember, obviously, was built down there. We're going to go back that way. Was built by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company. There was also the dance hall. They called it a casino back then. But that dance hall, Heidelberg, Crazy Horse Saloon, was also a bowling alley. There was also a bowling alley at one time, approximately right over here, about 1 o'clock from where I'm standing. And it was all part of getting people up here to this side of town, because the majority of people back in the 1800s lived on the other side of the river. But they were trying to get people to come up here. Behind me is the Hooterville Highway. And the track is still there. They pilfered all the metal. If you wonder about this sidewalk, now the Hooterville Highway station would have been right there. Okay? So you're entering this way. But there were stairs that went up over the building to get you to this side. And up there where the cloth of trees is would be your fantastic flying machines. They have one at Cedar Point. The last one I rode was at the old Conneaut Lake Park. You sit in the carriage with a tail fin, and you had a front fin that you could swing and make the thing go up and come down and snap the rope and all that stuff. But this is all the Hooterville Highway up in here. This would have been a fantastic flying machine. It was perhaps the last ride that Idora added before the fire. It would have been right in here.
Yeah, the mounts are still in there.
There's that for either one. A lot of stuff hiding in the trees.
Now I know. Now I know.
Now, we used to go up this way. You could go up that way. You're fine. But there used to be a bridge. You know, because the track went that way, circled back around, and came back this way. But the bridge has collapsed.
Or someone stole them.
Yeah, look.
Because there's no.
You can see where the track was.
I don't know who took it. Was it pilfered or?
I think somebody torched them off.
Somebody
that's
got
for
some metal. I don't want to take people up there like last time.
Yeah.
That's just all messed up.
No, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, see, it would have
I remember
crossed
driving
over.
across there. I remember trying to steal the car off the track. I always tried to
Would've
get it off the track.
crossed over, you go
Turn real
back,
hard.
Came around and came back under.
What, Daddy?
Does anybody there remember the outdoor skating?
Well, I asked. Yeah, that's what I was.
Back here is the baby Wildcat. So the outer bank of the baby Wildcat was right back here behind me.
Hey,
Hang on.
Left me behind.
I know it's a cheesy moment, but there's my wife, and she wanted to be here, but she can't be here. Please say hi.
Hello.
She got an injury and can't make the walk, but I told her I'd do this, so there you go. Now if I can hang on.
Something I ain't seen before either. A little wooden railroad side sticking out.
8 days, what was all this, Ray? Okay, yeah, you're all not going to be able to make it up in here. But right in through here would have been the Hooterville Highway. This would have been the house. There was also a women's bathroom, or I don't know, somebody told me communal bathroom. And right above this brick wall, or cinder block wall, would have been your baby Wildcat, the kiddie coaster, and you would be looking into Kittyland from up here. Also through here, if you remember riding the Hooterville Highway, there was a tunnel that you went through. The facade of that tunnel was reused by Idora. It was actually the facade from the first dark ride over there called the Gold Nugget that turned into the Kooky Castle. When they turned it into the Kooky Castle, they took the facade of that building and put it on the front of the tunnel that would be on the Hooterville Highway. So the easiest way to make it out of here is probably back that way and around the corner.
The baby Wildcat cars are a part of the Idora Park experience and will be in the museum soon.
They will go to Mahoning Valley Historical Society.
They will go to the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, and they sat on top of the building for how many years?
A long time. A nice cube shop.
A long time. It was an ice cream shop.
Are they gonna charge you?
And it was in West Virginia.
Of all places.
Are they gonna charge you an arm and a leg?
Just a leg.
Just one way.
The arm, you gotta give the arm up after.
Watch your footing. Also another historian's brain fact, because they come back in random sequences. With the Hooterville Highway being there, before the Hooterville Highway, Idora did have another roller coaster called the Wild Mouse. And it sat here. To the right of the Wild Mouse, between what would have been the Wild Mouse and the house that was the bathroom, there would have been hot rod cars. Who's all been to Kennywood? Okay, do you know what I'm talking about? The little gas-powered cars that go around a wooden track, they would have been here, but that's before my time.
Tell them about the original location of the baby Wildcat.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it wasn't always.
Yeah,
over
okay.
there.
Jeff just reminded me, the baby Wildcat roller coaster has moved 3 times. The 3rd time was up here in Kittyland. Before that, it used to sit where pretty much the Scrambler would have sat. The Scrambler would have sat in front of all those buildings, the bumper cars, etc. and that. Prior to that, it sat where they would put the Wild Mouse. But, so the final resting place for the baby Wildcat or the kiddie coaster was up here in Kittyland. But it did actually move 3 times.
You know, when you look
It'd be
at
nice to move it
when you
forward.
look at this today, it looks very small. You wonder how everything is.
Yeah,
It does, it
that's
looks
true
very
too.
small.
It seemed so big
I
as a
know,
kid.
but-
It seemed so big back then, you know.
It wasn't that big at all all in the end.
Pretty much right in this
By
gap
today's standards, this
between that tree and that tree would have been your paratrooper. The paratrooper, obviously, then if you go around, you go into Kittyland.
should we do our group photo? What? Yeah, they still.
We're gonna do a group photo. So we're gonna go up here towards the train station. And just kind of bear with me, but you can see a cement wall. That's coming out of the station around this turn. Into the tunnel, down that way, and then the lift hill would have been up over there. But this hill here, this, where it comes out of the tunnel, it makes that left turn and comes through.
There's a way out of here. It's the same pathway.
We didn't come this way last time.
Yeah, please be careful. Watch your
Was
footing,
this originally
everybody.
walkway?
We didn't come down here.
Oh.
As you come down this way, if you look off to your right, you'll see cement footers that were from the Wildcat. Follow the deer.
Yep. Look, yellow. Yeah, I got a couple yellow rocks at home. Okay, so this was, hang on. Yeah, we'll just keep going. Yeah.
We're getting our cardio today.
Be careful as you come this way.
These right here, that's about 5 foot. That was the bottom of the dip from the hill. We ran right next to.
About right where I'm standing, you're going to see 3 cement things. One still painted Wildcat yellow. That'd be the bottom of the first drop hill, along with the other footers behind me.
Yep. That's the other part of the tunnel. Right here was the carousel. We'd be under the carousel.
Oh God, I can remember getting bitched at by Pat Duck. Me and the guy that ran.
Yeah. The carousel? You operated the carousel drunk?
Yep.
Tell them about it.
That entrance tunnel that started back there came right through here and then circled around and went up. So this is also part of that entrance tunnel. We're just going to follow the deer path.
I feel like I brought too much stuff. This backpack wasn't heavy when we left. Getting heavier as we go though.
That's the one we want to get. See it right there?
Yeah.
We already got the other one.
They have a small fee. I'll come up with a sledgehammer. I'll get it out of there. We're all going to jail.
Popo coming.
Run!
Sorry.
Everybody can stay up there.
All right.
Hey, somebody's running through the woods too with a yellow jacket. We were kidding.
I'll wait.
They're spread out all over right now.
I know. Well, that's what happened last year, remember?
Yeah, that's why I ended up staying on it waiting for everybody. It was either people were too slow to get caught up or they got wandered off somewhere.
Right.
Well, they're going that way too. to come back
Right here, I'm kind of waiting in line to get on the Wildcat.
You're gonna wait for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
This wall is where the station was, right above me. And then it went that way, circled around, and went, you know, like in an S thing over to the lift hill. The clump of trees over here, if you look, right to the right of Tony, there's a fire hydrant. If you look at any picture of the arcade, that's where the arcade was, where the clump of trees is. Here's all your midway game booths up against this brick wall, all the way down.
I don't even remember all this.
Here's the bed.
It kind of comes back to you while you're here.
When you're
Rick Tail's gone.
On its way.
Maybe we need to come out here with some.
I wanted to walk up with a siren and blow it off like thief.
I heard the sound, but we're expecting him to show.
What better way to get kids to pick up trash
oh yeah.
than to put in front of a scary pig?
I love that thing. You just try to you find trash to just want to go over and put it in.
I was afraid of that pig. It doesn't pull me in.
That was Porky.
The porky, I know it was a pig or
That was
something.
Porky. Was it Porky? I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Where the Wildcat was the ride known as the Panama Canal, and I know Jim's going to kill me, you know this. It was rethemed into the Wizard of Oz. It was owned by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company. Back in the early days of the park, these guys would rent out spaces. In other words, it might have been Idora Park, but they didn't own the Panama Canal. Those guys made money doing their thing and paid so much money to the owners. So right here, actually, before the Wildcat, was the Panama Canal. When the park made a deal with the Philadelphia Toboggan Company to bring in a brand new carousel and another water attraction, down the road, I'll show you where the first roller coaster was. It was the original figure 8, later rethemed into the Firefly. But what they did is they moved that arcade across the street over here, and it actually became a lunchroom, like a restaurant. And they tore down the Panama Canal, and they put the Wildcat here. Down the road, they tore down the original, very first roller coaster, and they built what was known as the Rapids. It was later rethemed to the Lost River. Entertainment value over.
It was right next to the.
No more than I did.
You're in the carousel.
It's not open right now, sorry.
Right here is where the carousel would be. Now Jane's Carousel in Dumbo, New York. But it would be right here. And you can kind of see the outline of where, you know, because there was mechanisms that went down to the ground to power that thing. But this would be the carousel right in here. Yeah. If anybody remembers all the midway, it's over here to your left, my right. There was a break in the midway building, and in between that break, there was a staircase. It's right here. Somebody's pilfered the handrails, but the posts are still there.
Jim hasn't got back to them.
And this is all more midway buildings down here.
The Fascination would have been right here to the right. Yep, right here. Fascination would have been along here. Right here it was, you went down here to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. Right down there, there's a cement path that goes down. It would have been a bathroom. It was kind of like underneath the Wildcat. Right along here would have been another set of midway buildings. Gym, skee ball. On the corner where that path goes down, actually on that corner would be popcorn. There'd be a big popcorn stand. Then there'd be skee ball, and Jim worked at skee ball. You got taken off the football pro, I know that. You got fired off the football pro. Yeah, because you were cheating.
We can't say why.
Stealing.
But he's a reborn man now.
So you had skee ball, you had some other game. Fascination. Who played it?
Everybody played it.
It was here. Again, over here would be Midway buildings.
Oh, I got a good one here. Hold on.
My brain's fried.
I know.
Has anybody seen the movie All the Marbles?
Yeah, Peter Paul.
Okay. The scene where the car was parked and she ran up here under the game and said, "We'll never get in there." N-E-V-E-R, never. She was standing right where Jim is. So if you see the movie All the Marbles, and then they turned, and the ballroom was that way. They put the tent up in front of the jackrabbit. It was wrestling pit was. Peter Falk.
That's it.
And the California Doll.
Filmed right here.
Something else I didn't know.
Check it out. Ryan.
All the marbles.
We're learning new stuff this time too. Looks like our group got small. I think people are lost in the woods.
Oh, they're doing their own thing.
Movie as well.
People are strolling around a lot.
Right here, where it seems the Midway buildings end, that would be the Idora Park souvenir stand. Right here in this corner. To your right, this cement would be the Cheyenne Shootout. Prior to that, the Ferris wheel used to be located down here. There was a ride called the Turbo. It used to be located down here. But that cement right up in there, at the end of the park, became the Cheyenne Shootout.
The office was over here.
Yes. Yes, the office would be right over here. And to the left of the office would be the Lost River.
The elephant.
I can still hear the drums.
Oh yeah, the big elephant. I forgot about the big elephant.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember at the beginning of the tour, I told you Idora had a theater. This would have been the stage, and it would have looked this way. And if you see those cement footers, those were for the benches that used to be for the theater. It was an open-air theater. They eventually, put a roof over it, and then they eventually enclosed it. But this would have been the stage looking up into that kind of seating, as you could kind of see it. But again, at the end of the park, this cement right here would have been the Cheyenne Shootout.
Oh, Jim's got something.
Did you notice this time we haven't seen any deer?
Yeah.
One of them came up to me and said, "Hey, Aaron Young's not in that group, is he?" Does everybody know that story about Aaron Young, right? Shooting all, killing all the deer.
I guess you had to be there.
I think I scared away when I did my recon earlier.
Yeah.
I did see a few of them earlier when I came through.
There's a foam pole laying here on the ground.
It's made of wood.
This is basically work, yeah, it's made of wood. The park office would have been here. Jim Amy has the ugliest, prettiest green light I've ever seen. If you look at any picture of the park office, you're going to see the light that Jim Amy has at the museum. It's like a green ball, and it hung off this foam pole. The foam pole obviously has fallen over, but I know you got it.
It was stolen. We paid for it in the church, and then we came here to get it. And I'm looking around because I know where the office was. And then I saw that the pole that it was on was laying on the ground. Somebody had stolen it after we paid for it. And then a woman showed up at our first opening and said, "I have this green thing. I was going to use it for a planter in my yard." So we ended up buying it a second time.
So the park office would have been right behind me.
Just tell her about the metal we got scrapped.
All the pavilion
From
thing.
the pavilion.
Oh, yeah. Somebody stole that too. That's a long job.
To the right would have been the Lost River.
It is now definitely permanently lost.
Yeah, gone. See, here's the other part of the Midway.
As you come down here, you're going to find cement. We're heading towards the Turtle. Lost River would have been to the right of this cement.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I ain't fell yet. I'm surprised. I was walking backwards. I ain't hit the
Yeah,
ground
you and
yet.
me both.
I do more walking backwards today than forward.
It's secret ground, that's why you haven't fell.
Yeah. All right, as you're coming down there, again, to your right would have been the Lost River. Behind me would have been the Turtle. And as you come down this way and look this way, this block structure would have been the Turtle Station. As you go around that way and look in the middle, that was the middle structure of the Turtle, where all the arms were connected and went around. If you walk around the perimeter, you'll find the huge cement footers where the track was, and it makes a whole circle around here. Sorry, Ronnie.
I'm in your way. I'm in yours.
Hey, we've got 2 of the 5 turtles, 1 restored.
2 of the 5 turtles, 1 restored. You didn't hear Jim. He's got them. And I know where 1 came from.
Yeah, that's
This is where we saw the deer last year.
The arms were.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right there, yeah.
There's
This is where we saw the deer last time.
there's the footers. You can come this way, it's safe.
Yeah.
Well, safe enough. Safer than back there.
It's as safe as we're gonna get it.
Wow, I've grown a lot since last year. Still see the footers though.
Oh, geez, no, the fire. Here, hang on.
As you come in here, you're going to see the, you'll be at the center of the turtle ride, and if you look out around this way, my 12 o'clock, that's where the station would have been.
Yeah, some people were asking about the fire, how it had started. It said that some workers were working on the Lost River ride with the welding torch, and they got too close to the dry timbers, and it went up, and they couldn't put it out. And
Both the Lost River and Wildcat are intertwined.
yeah, the Lost River actually ran under the outer bank of the Wildcat. They were intertwined, and obviously they couldn't get any water to it in time. Are the footers still out there?
Yeah. Carefully make your way this way towards me, and you'll see the footers from the turtle track. Again, if you look 12 o'clock my way, you'll see where the station was. And of course, this big pyramid in the middle would have been the center of the turtle ride, Tumblebug at Kennywood. They call it the Tumblebug at Kennywood. Oh, and a little, historian dumb fact. The motors that ran our turtle cars were the same motors that ran the Tumblebug at Conneaut Lake Park. But nobody knows what happened since, well, the park's gone now up there.
They probably scrapped that out.
Yep.
They burnt the.
Now, if you come this way, you'll see the footers of where the track used to be. Go that way, my lord. Was the original trolley track.
Oh, okay.
They ran the whole length of the park all the way to the park.
Now the only one operating is the one at Kennywood, correct?
Yep.
Last one.
Now this piece of land I'm standing on, this was the original Park and Falls trolley track. When they finally extended it for the last time, they went up here and kind of made a loop back, and back towards Parkview. Kind of 2 o'clock to my position, there used to be a lake there. And the trolley would come up here, turn around the lake, there was a station up there, drop people off, and then make its way back. And again, we're back pretty much where we started. That's the putt-putt course. As you can see, there's structures that are all, those are from some of the old putt-putt holes.
Carrying that brick the whole time.
Yeah,
Those are heavy, ain't it?
I was taking it with you.
My backpack's getting heavier than I left too.
Yeah, I'm gonna come on through this one and stick it
We'll
out.
probably come over this way.
Bill's grit. Yeah.
You too, huh? That was just me getting hung up on everything. I got wires hanging off, and my batteries are getting low.
That's that little pool there.
That's what it's not good to go to the rest. It's good to rest when we started getting sick. That was my first thing, good man.
And as you're coming up this way, if you look off to your left, you'll see another putt-putt. You know, this is all the putt-putt area.
That little pool still there.
Yeah, that one, and this one.
Yeah, the fiberglass pool's still there. I saw when I was up there earlier.
Yeah, there's one up there on top of the hill.
That was one of the later things they built.
I think the one I saw was over there somewhere.
Yeah.
This is mushy here.
Higher
Watch the
ground.
mushy.
Higher ground to the left.
That's one I saw earlier. I didn't realize they were still here.
I'm gonna get up here.
There's some trip hazards and some tetanus shots right there.
Again, the putt-putt course, if you look up here to my right, there's a water feature. The water thing's still here without the water.
Is that fiberglass? Oh my gosh.
Thin fiberglass.
Old
Hole
fiberglass.
up there, there's another hole up there, and there's 18 in total.
Anybody want to play?
Might find some golf balls. Right here and right here. This is where we
Help
came
them
in,
down.
right here.
Well, that's about all I got. We're back where we started. But that's the entire park. We made our way all the way around. But as you can see, there's putt-putt structures up there.
Everybody tell them to do it again next year. You're locked in
So
now.
last year I said I wasn't going to do this anymore because I love it. I am, in my world, and to toot my own horn, I have researched this history of this park, this piece of land, for over 25 years, if not more. But when I come up here, it hurts. It's because I can see it. But as long as anybody wants, I'll come back. Yeah, she's injured.
Tell them to put you program director back to 572. Yeah, last year he said that he wasn't going to come, and I did bet him, and I bet somebody else here. I'd like to collect that money if I can. But he will never stop coming here as long as somebody tries to bring him here. So. Jim?
And that pamphlet I handed out, if you didn't get one, I've got a Facebook page, IdoraPark.org. I'll just hit you with a join, and I'm going to try to get that whole thing scanned and up there. That way, if you didn't get one, you can get one printed out and sent. Jim? Get up here.
You're out of that.
This all revolves around you, kinda. You gotta say something.
Yeah.
Come on, you want to hear from Jim and Tony, right?
What am I supposed to say? Thank you everybody for coming out. And don't forget, Mahoning Valley Historical Society needs your money for the Idora Park Museum. So please consider donating to them. It goes directly to them. We don't get a penny of that, obviously.
Are they doing any fundraising or anything like that?
Yeah, they will be real soon. So if you love Idora Park and you want the memories to live on, then please do that. They've got they're getting our entire, don't we keep bending down or what?
Hey, closer.
This ain't
Kinda
light.
wonder where he was going with that.
Anyway, thank you very much for all coming out here. I appreciate it. We all do.
So everything that you have is going to.
I want to keep the elephant, but she doesn't want me to
Oh,
keep
so
them.
everything.
It's the elephant in the room.
Not going to get
So is everything still at your house in that big?
We
already
donate
started.
like they got the gypsy grandma.
Yes.
They have that, which
They got one of the claw
that was tough to
machines.
let it go because we paid a fortune for that thing and had to go all the way to New Jersey or New York to
Jersey.
get it. But they have it now. It's donated. It's theirs. And
Yeah, so little
some
by
of the
little,
machines,
we're moving things over to
some of the
them.
arcade machines. They
I don't know
have.
if you want to answer this or not, but you should donate
Not a problem.
everything to them.
Absolutely
All the
donated.
money
Yep.
that you. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
It's money that's gone. It doesn't
Please be careful getting out of here.
It's a bigger.
There's 3 exits right here. Maybe we should help people down here. Yeah, last year.
If you guys would exit here, we can give you a hand.
A few people have said, oh, we sold.
Oh, there goes the police. Look at all these trespassers. Now watch your noggin. Watch that pipe above your head. Watch the pipe above your head. Look up, look up. Don't hit your head on that. Don't nobody slicing their head open.